Hey guys, Robot1 here, and today I have my updated Satellarknights build. Now recently I came first at my locals with this build, so I thought I would show you what it is, I'll tell you why, my options for and reasons for why I chose what to put in this, and I just thought it would be nice to show you my updated version, seeing as I ain't done a deck profile of this for quite a while now. So let's get started. Now for monsters, it's pretty standard still. We're running the standard triple Deneb with the standard triple Altair. Now these are your basic engine. You go Deneb, search Altair, and Altair your Deneb, search another Altair. Pretty standard. It's the most common play in the deck, the reason why the deck can be considered helmet, and it's just something that makes the deck so good. It's the main play of the deck, so this is probably the helmet play of the deck, yeah. Next, 2 Vega. Now Vega's here mainly because you need it to go for your triple plays, like with Delrose, Trivor, anything in your extra deck that makes freeze. You need Vega for that, otherwise you won't be able to make your triple play so easy. Next, 2 Yugioh, mainly just to dump your Deneb for your Altair if you can't get to the Deneb quick enough, or call the Haunted back later. Next, 2 Honest. Honest is basically the card that allows you to get over everything. It can get you over towers, construct, Winder. Basically it can get you over really anything in the deck, because if you've got a big problem on board that you can't get over, Honest is your best way out in my opinion. So Honest is probably one of the best cards in the deck, simply because it helps you get over all the boss monsters in most decks nowadays. Because if it wasn't for this, I probably wouldn't be able to get over towers and anything. It's the best out I could think of to most decks, like, because of Winder, can't be killed by effects, and towers is just immortal no matter what you do. So this is a good card to get over those big guys. Next, 1 Thunder King Ryo. Now this is pretty obvious, your standard for the Necros, Klee, all the matchups that love to search, so it's a good main deck card and a good floodgate. Those are the monsters. Next, for spells, pretty standard triple Rotor. Without Rotor you wouldn't be able to get your Deneb to hand as fast, and it helps late game when you've got 1 Altair in deck or something and you're on your last step. You top deck this and you're able to get your Altair just to summon the Deneb from grave, get plus, and then just go ham with your extra deck because you can get a free XYZ off that. Next, 2 Pop Duality. Now Pop Duality is an important card in this deck because of if you're low on resources and you don't really have much left in your hand and your opponent is really stacked, then you can use this, search out a trap card, see what you look at the top 3 cards. If there's a trap there that you could use which would help you win the game, that would be really good. Plus it's a quicker way to get your Deneb to your hand, which is really important in this deck. You have to get your Deneb to your hand or you can't win. Well, you can, but not as easy, obviously. Next, 1 Raigeki for destruction and 1 Dark Hole for destruction. These 2 are pretty good because when I run the Dark Hole purely because it's another way out of Jinlock and stuff. Oh, that's also another out for the Honest Jinlock. So I run double for Jinlock outs, and because it's a very good card when your opponent has a big board and you just want to blow them out. So that's the spells. I run 6 spells. Next, pretty standard, triple Alpha. Your standard counter trap of the deck. It allows you to negate anything by tributing one of your Satellarknights monsters, so it's pretty obvious why you run it. Next, triple Fiendish Chain. just so I can negate any big things that I don't want to happen, like construct send effect, clear attacking, Tellarknight mirror match. It's good in all of those states, and if my opponent wants to trish and I've got this set on board, then I can just activate it and just say no to them. So this can actually really be useful in the Necros matchup as well. So 3 of those is pretty good for me. Next, Triple Crawler Haunted. Your revival for all your Tellarknight monsters. You can use this to go to. I would use this to either summon Deneb back from grave, or an Altair and then a Deneb, so I can get the standard engine off again. So Triple Crawler Haunted to bring back my monsters, obviously. Next, 2 Anti-Spell Fragrance. Now I run Anti-Spell Fragrance because of clean Necros, because of if I've got Anti-Spell Fragrance on board, then the Necros have to wait a turn before they can actually play their cards, and I can just trivial loop them out. So I run 2 because of that. Plus, if I'm in a clean matchup, they can't activate their scout because of you're not allowed to set pendulum cards, and this really helps when in the pendulum matchups. So if you're ever going up a pendulum deck, this card can be really useful. Next, 2 Mirror Force. This is basically when my opponent is just trying to attack into something I want and I want to keep or something like that. Also, it's when they have a big board, and this actually wins games for me, because of if I didn't have this sometimes, I would have lost every game, honestly, because of this kept me at the life points I needed to survive my game. Next, for one-offs, 1 Solemn Warning to negate summons, 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, just banish anything that's summoned, 1 Ring of Destruction because I don't want, because of this is actually, it's an amazing card now. Could be a card to take out, but it's pretty good card. Next, TT Mass Destruction of my opponent's board, Vanity's Emptiness to negate to stop special summons, Oasis of Dragon Soul, an Extra Crawler Haunted, and Jar of Avarice for recyclability. So those are all the traps. So next, let's move on to the extra deck. So first off, we were running a Tellarknight Ptolemaeus. Now I only really use this card to go into a first turn diamond, because of in the Shadow matchup, if I make this first turn, then have it with for a turn, or if I just want to stall out, I can either go main phase 2, 3 materials diamond, or just wait for it, or just wait a turn for it. And it also, against stuff like Skull Servants, Troll decks, stuff like that sends cards to grave, the diamond play really helps. Next, 1 Deltaros, simply because Deltaros doesn't really need to be more than 1 now, because of it's not really that great, and I'm not playing Teleseraph, so 1 of's enough from Deltaros. Next, 2 Trigger. Now you have to run at least 1 to 2 Trigger in Tallarknights, purely because without the Tallarknight Trigger you wouldn't be able to do your Trigger loop, or you wouldn't be able to have your graveyard effects, because of Trigger allows you to compulse the whole board, and it's probably the best card in the deck because of it gives you your maximum authority against shadows, or against any other deck for that matter. Because of if I summon Trigger, then their whole board goes to their hands. Plus, I can discard one of their cards if I want. So I would say Trigger is one of the best cards in the deck, simply because it's basically a field compulse. It's amazing. Next, the bane of all dark decks. So Tellarknight Constellar Diamond. Now, Constellar Diamond is mainly there because Shadow matchup, plus it stops all dark decks in their tracks. This card is literally amazing against dark decks. BA, Black Wings, anything you can name that has a dark element, this card is amazing against. So you have to run this if you're playing Tellarknights. Plus, it works well with the Ptolemaeus, like I said a minute ago. So running this at 1 now because it's a good card, but there's not really much room in the extra deck for it to be more than 1 now. Next, Number 86, Heroic Champion, Ragnarok. Now this card's here simply because this deck can make five monster boards pretty easy now, and this is literally the best card in the game. You make this, you have about an 80% chance of winning. So I know it's not 100, but this card is literally like normal summon with 5 materials. Oh, you got 3 turns of not doing anything. Plus I nuke their board, so it's an amazing card. So you have to at least run one of this in Satellarknights. Next, Go Cowboy for Bang Bang for game, obviously, just there for that. Dweller for the BA matchup, Shadow matchup, and just generally when they have hands. Next, Augusto Emerald for recyclability. Lavalval Chain. Now Lavalval Chain's here for those free top decks, and also for those dumping. Because if I can't get Deneb to hand, then this has literally saved me so many times now. Because I play Lavalval Chain, now it's literally saved me like half my games. Because there was times when I couldn't get Deneb to hand, and I just needed to put him on top, and I had like an Altair and a Vega in hand, so I made Lavalval Chain, and it literally saved my ass. Because of Lavalval Chain, I won most of my games. So Lavalval Chain is a really good card now. Exciton Knight for just nuking everything. Castell, just getting rid of the monsters that I don't like to see on board. Heroic Champion Excalibur. This is my towers out now, and it was also replaced for Blade Armor Ninja, because I didn't really have much ways to kill Killer other than Honest, so I put Excalibur in there as a backup plan. Omega, just a beat stick really, who can survive anything, and Dark Rebellion as a beat stick. So that's my extra deck, so now I will show you my side deck. So my side deck for this, it's kind of changed, so don't get me wrong. Okay, 2 Flying Sea for the BA matchups, and the mirror match. This card helps a lot in the game, so this can actually bring out lots of situations that I need to get rid of. Mind Control. Mind Control's there for the mirror match where I don't want to really deal with anything, and I can just, and if my opponent's playing Satellarknights as well and they summon a Trevor, Dartros, Ptolemaeus or something, I can just mind control them, steal their Ptolemaeus with diamond or whatever, then make my diamond on top of it so they lose their card. So mind control can be really useful. Plus if I'm playing rank 4 base decks, and just rob them, make any rank 4 in my extract. Okay. Next, triple MST. Now, the reason I'm siding MST now it's because the only matchups that I really need it against are Yosenju and Klee, but you don't really see them that much. Klee you've been seeing more, but I don't really need it because I've got anti-spell fragrance, so it's in the side mainly just as a backup for those anti-meta decks and those decks where I just can't handle back row that well. So that's why they're in there. On to traps of the side. 2 Fairy Wind. This is basically for those continuous card decks like Yosenju and Klee. All those decks that run all continuous trap cards, face-up cards, all of that. Just something to blow them out. Next, 2 Mind Crush, just to be able to see my opponent's hand and to make them discard something. So, just mainly because of that. Imperial Iron Wall. This is for Infernoids, Necros, Ritual Beasts, anything I can think of that can banish really. So that's why they're in there. And finally, Free Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. This is for the Shadow matchup, BA matchup, any dark matchup, and anything that's evil. So guys, that's my new updated Satellarknight deck profile, which I used to win my locals. So guys, tell me what you think. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos. And I guess I'll see you next time. Hope you like that profile. Bye.